Hey,
I've been
Deacon.
quiet, but that don't mean nothing wrong. Just how I was raised.
Let's go. I like that. Cool. Change layout. That's perfect.
I grew up in a house where men don't cry. Keep it all inside, let it pass on by. Ain't nobody asking how you really feel. You
That's
just
good.
learn real quick how they keep it sealed. So when I get quiet, I ain't pulling away. I'm just
Come
trying
on,
to find
Steve.
the right words to say.
Good
I
evening.
don't wanna speak from a place of heat. I'd rather take a minute,
Can you
stand
hear the
on my
music?
feet.
You hear that music?
I hear the music.
I
Can you
ain't
hear me?
mad at you. I ain't trying to run. I'm just
How's my
walking
audio?
through
Am I okay?
You sound so good. Do I sound all right?
Absolutely.
Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to episode 108 of the Blue Table Talk for Men, second edition. It's so good to see everybody. Y'all come on in here. Good evening, Brian, Vivian, Trish, Sneaky. Hey, everybody, what is up? What is up? What is up? Sneaky, how was your week, man? It's been a long time since last Tuesday.
Well, life be life and work be working.
That's right.
Um, I'm kind of stuck in the never-ending cycle of hire and fire.
Okay. Oh, really? Really?
Well, when you get to a certain level, I ain't gonna talk too much about but
Okay,
when
you
you get to a
fine.
certain level, you have to maintain the the team, the organization. And if folks ain't right, they got to get some get right.
They got to get some get right.
And it's all about the team. It's not personal.
That's right.
It's about professionalism. And if you are held to a contract,
Right.
you need to make sure that the particulars of the contract are handled. You got to uphold what you signed to,
Yeah,
if that
I's
makes sense.
dotted, T's crossed.
Absolutely. And then when folks everybody's perfect during the interview.
Oh, of course. It's called embellishing, right? So what Dr. Cheyenne Bryant is and has done is really not far fetched, is it?
Right, absolutely. But see, everybody's perfect during an interview, but then
Right.
after a month or two or three, you go from the interview to the interview because you gonna show off.
The real you gonna show up. The real you gonna
Absolutely.
show up. Good evening, everybody. Sneaky and I are here tonight, just for conversation. Real, authentic, honest conversations. Another edition of the Blue Table Talk for Men, second edition. And I'm chopping it up with my man Sneaky. We got a couple of folks said that we're gonna join us tonight. We got brother Jemmie Watford, Minister Watford. We're gonna bring him on in a few minutes. Coach Tre supposed to stop by, and we just like you said, Snake. Life be life, man. So we gotta open up, man. I gotta ask you again,
Absolutely.
how are you doing? That's our question, everybody. When you come sit on the seat, you gotta be willing to answer this question below me. Men, how are you? Ladies, you're on the porch sipping your tea. I got some ginger lemonade here. But ladies, you just on the porch sipping tea and listening to us. This is a safe space for, say it together, y'all, men folk.
Man. Yep.
Men folk. So Sneak, how you doing, man?
I am troubled.
What's up?
I am man. Come on. You live in this country like I do.
Oh, I just posted
when
on somebody's TikTok, and you'll probably agree with me. So
mm,
we can say there is one man amongst 330 million. There's one man that has proven he's above the law.
yeah, yeah. Wrongfully,
Yeah.
but true. And I know we're not going to go political, and I don't want to do
Oh,
that.
you fine.
It's just, but it weighs on me. Now you might ask what? What weighs on me is the folks that came before us that did what they did for us to struggle for what we have. Now I'm not talking men, I'm talking black men in this
Oh, of
particular
course, of
instance,
course.
but it all trickles down. And I talk to some of these younger folks, and I talk to people about um, the things you can do to make this country better. I'm like,
Right.
that's about as deep as I'm gonna get on that.
Right.
And it's amazing to me, to the folks, that the amount of times I hear, I've done all I can do. I vote every 4 years, and then there's nothing else I can do. And I'm like, young fella,
Come on. Come on. Come on.
young fella. They just remarched the bridge,
Sure did.
remarched it,
That's right.
remarched it. And yeah. But anywho, how are you, sir?
Okay. I'm doing all right. We're about to have a freshman in high school. We the family's doing well. In a couple of weeks, we're going to travel to Birmingham and visit with my family. Doing fine health wise. We okay. We had a last Thursday, we had another cancer treatment. So I was on the air last week, and we had just gone through another cancer treatment. That's going fine. Weight is fine. Appetite is strong. All is
Good.
well. Got my setup just right. You inspired me to tweak a few things and talk to Minister Watford, talk to Coach Derek, and tweak some things. So, we wanted to be pristine because, like you said, we're going to also evolve into a podcast. And so
Oh, I'm recording right now.
well, praise the Lord. The audio has to be chef's kiss,
Pristine.
And so I've
Absolutely.
been watching, been really paying attention to men's TikToks and inviting them to the show. And Coach Tre, he just did a birthday TikTok, and he was transparent and said that he's gone through therapy. So I really hope he stops by tonight to really talk about that process. And you are such a great, I don't want it to seem like I'm interviewing you, but you got such good meaty stuff.
He said meaty.
Yeah,
He said, hey, I'm meaty.
hey, wait a minute.
Absolutely.
You're such a, and what I love about you, Sneak, and it's such the reason you and I play off each other so well. You don't mind sharing,
No.
because one of the questions that we have pinned on our board is, when was the last time you had an honest conversation? And you chimed in last week and said, I just had one with Miss Lady, Miss Sneaky. I just had one,
Yeah.
And so I just really appreciate your heart. And like you and I say all the time, we're not going to agree on everything, and we push each other back, and we push each other, and that, I think that's going to bode well for our show, because we're men. We've been around a little while, getting ready to
Mm-hmm.
celebrate 6-0. First Lady Trish is in the building. She's about to celebrate a birthday. Our niece is about to turn 14. So, man, June is a good month. Then Father's Day, so June is a
Mm-hmm.
good month for me.
Well, speaking of Father's Day, after we get those crappy gifts that they give us.
Yeah. I hope y'all taking notes. We like good gifts, too. I hope y'all took
We
a
do
note.
too. Look, I got enough ties and socks. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I got enough ties and socks. But yeah, everything's good. It's a day.
Yeah.
I can complain, but I won't. I have everything I need, but not everything I want.
All right.
And I make sure I do everything that I can to make sure that my family and the ones that depend on me, being the provider, okay, because that's one thing that, that's why our pride is so high.
That's right.
All right. At least my standpoint.
Yeah.
The reason my pride is so high is because I know I'm responsible for people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And you take
My
that
family.
seriously. You take that seriously.
Absolutely. Listen, I've gone to war 4 times for this great nation, not just to take care of my family, but for y'all's too.
And again,
You see what I'm
thank you for
saying?
your service. Thank you for
Oh,
your
absolutely.
Tell remind everybody, how long, start to finish, how long were you in the armed forces?
23 years. 23 years. Retired Army Ranger Infantry, 4-time combat veteran. Okay, yes. But I didn't do that. I used to say this all the time. I didn't do all of that to win the war. I couldn't do that. Okay, I was a platoon sergeant, and sometimes I was a squad leader, responsible for 7 people or 30 people or 50 people. You can't win a war like that.
Right.
So I never went to war to win the war. I went to war to accomplish our missions and bring all my people back.
Right.
That's the job. That's the job. Now, everyone collectively is doing that job.
Right.
Accomplish your missions, but bring all your people back. Now,
Right.
I've been fortunate enough for every time that I've gone and took people with me, I brought them all back. I've never lost a man, weapon, or a piece of equipment.
How about that?
Everybody can't say that.
Wow.
Everybody can't say that.
That's stellar, Sneaky. That
Yeah,
is
thank you, sir.
stellar. That
Yeah.
got good evening again, everybody. I wanna peel that layer back. We're gonna bring Brother Watford on in a moment. I want to peel a layer of that back because that's astonishing. Good evening, everybody. If you have a question for us, put it in the chat. Between shows, if you have something that hits your heart, fellas, email us at bluetabletalkformen@gmail.com. And tonight, we want to know how you're doing. That's our launching point every Tuesday. So you know what this show is about. We want to know, men, we want to know how you're doing. Sneaky, and I think it's a life lesson here as well. What do you attribute? A couple of things maybe. What do you attribute? You didn't lose a piece of machinery, you didn't lose a weapon, you didn't lose a man. What do you hang your hat on to help you accomplish that? That's pretty phenomenal.
I will tell you, it was persistent and brutal training.
Yeah,
I'm a ranger. All
yeah,
right, that's about as hard as you're gonna get.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
special forces do their thing. The Delta, which can't we don't talk about, but Ranger is lack of sleep, lack of food,
yeah,
walk till you can't walk no more, jump out of airplanes, that type of stuff. And training, repetition, muscle memory,
yeah,
that's what got us there. Okay, when you're so tired and something happens and you react anyway because you've done it, so drill, you do it
yeah.
and you
You do.
do it and you do it.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I attribute most of I can't say mine, our success because of training. And I was the primary trainer. That's me. I'm the trainer. I trained a lieutenant
yeah,
and I trained my Joes. Okay. But it wasn't just training, it was caliber of people, it was understanding people, knowing when, where, and how
yeah.
to talk or yell or threaten. It sounds brutal, but you needed to know when to
Right.
apply the right amount of pressure, and then you need to be able to show the right amount of compassion
That's right.
without seeming weak. Because you're talking to alpha males,
Yeah, yeah. You
okay?
talking about the top dogs of the top
Yeah,
dogs.
you're
Yeah,
talking alpha male, so you got to be able to know how to show compassion without showing weakness, and it's a brutal environment.
yeah, yeah,
It's a brutal environment,
yeah,
and just to caveat a little bit, to go from that for years
yeah.
and then you come back home and your daddy, husband, boyfriend, son, it's hard to turn that off. And
It's tough, isn't it?
everybody doesn't do it successfully.
Yeah, it's tough to transition back to civilian life. We touched on it a little bit last week, so let me see if we can bring Brother Jemmie Watford on because I did a dry run yesterday, and
Mm.
he said he was gonna be here this evening, and I told him I'm gonna have him sit on the hot seat for a few minutes. Let me see if I can bring him on, Brother Jimmy. Hit that button. Let's see if I can get him in here. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Let's see if we can get him in here. There we go. Yeah, I'm getting
Yep,
used to these buttons. I love TikTok Studio Live. I love this. There he is.
there he is.
Minister Watford, how you doing, man?
Man, fine by God's grace, brother, and yourself.
Man, listen, I'm about as happy as a pig in slop.
Stop it. Stop it.
You know how us Southern boys are. You know how we are sneaky. I want you to meet Minister Jemmie Watford. Jemmie Watford, I want you to meet our co-host, Brother Sneaky.
Pleasure to meet you, brother Sneaky, man.
Likewise, my friend. Likewise.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
but
sir.
listen, hey, you got to answer the question, man. How's Brother Jimmy doing?
Hey, man, brother Jimmy is expecting. I
Amen.
am expecting. I don't mean as far as pregnancy, Brother Sneaky. I saw you lean back like, oh, he looks.
I was like, where are we going here?
he's very artistic. He's very poetic. He's that guy. He does a word. He does poetry and stuff like that. He's that guy. He's very gifted, Sneak.
Oh, I'm with you. I'm with you.
I'm just a regular guy, man. Just a regular guy. But no, you know, I'm in a transitional stage of life, and a lot like our Rangers, men are trained
Yeah,
and conditioned to stand in tough circumstances, and welcome the rough of it, and face it with everything that we have.
right.
So I'm expecting these transitional phases to yield what God has promised me. So
Amen.
I'm expecting greatness. Uh, I'm expecting change that is beneficial for myself and my family,
Amen.
and I'm expecting.
That's
That's
good.
Mm.
how I am. Yes,
That is
sir.
good, man. That's good. How
Yeah.
so you're teaching now. What's the temperature of the kids in 2026? What are you seeing amongst the young people today?
Well, I retired 2 years ago from teaching in Atlanta public schools. The one of the most, and it's we have this conversation a lot.
Okay.
I do anyway. But the children aren't the problem.
Come on. Come
The
on.
children are not the problem, in my opinion. I was telling the mayor of Dothan day before yesterday.
Okay.
No, Friday he called me,
Okay.
and I put together a program which I often do in cities to help curb some of the violence and just
Right.
ignorance that they are exemplifying.
Come on.
And I often explain to people that when you get a child that is violent or disrespectful or wandering, and they're out in the streets and they're influenced by certain elements that we can't say out loud here on
Come on.
on on,
Right.
on
Right.
TikTok,
Right.
by the time they get to us, we're treating the symptoms.
That's a good point.
We're just treating the symptoms. And I tell teachers when I do seminars, the best you can do is wipe the mud off.
Yeah.
But at 3 o'clock, they're going right back to the mud puddle.
What you say? What you
They're
say?
going,
Yeah.
they're going
Yeah.
right back to
Yeah.
the mud puddle. So the children, Dr. Sims, the children are just evidential circumstance. They're evidential repercussions. They're the evidence. They're the fruit of some type of tree
Yeah.
that they're growing off of and around.
Yeah.
But you can ask any of the ones I've had for the past 8 years. Mr. Jimmy love them.
Yeah.
They call. Listen, some of these jokers in high school now, they still call.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
so we have to show up for them as best we can. In Georgia, there are a lot of limitations on what we can do. You'd be surprised. Just things that I'm used to doing in a place like Dothan,
Okay.
Alabama, that I'm from. You can't do that here. I can't go buy children clothes and things. It's a process that you have to go. You can't just do it.
You
You
just
can't
can't.
just do it.
You just okay. Let's time out, everybody. I promised this gentleman, Sneak and Jimmy. I'm putting you on the spot. I
Yes, sir.
promised this gentleman, Coach Tre, we were gonna sing him happy birthday. His birthday was parallel with Mother's Day this year, so he's celebrating the entire month. He's 52 years young. He's a young one compared to her. He's a young one. So on my count, we got to sing happy birthday for this gentleman. Are y'all ready?
No, I'm ready.
I think
One,
so.
two, three. Happy
Happy
birthday to
birthday to
you.
you.
Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to
to
you.
you.
Happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday,
Coach
Coach
Tre.
Trey.
Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday to
to
you.
you.
I love it. I appreciate it.
How you doing, Coach?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
I am doing fine. Coach Tre, this is Minister Watford above you, and above him is our co-host, Sneaky Phil. And we here, man. We here, man. The Blue Table Talk for men. We're here for the fellas, man.
Hey, I love it, man. I'm always down to talk with some other brothers because this type of conversations are necessary. We
They
need
are.
more safe spaces for men. I live here in Sacramento, California, and I talk to a lot of men who don't have those safe spaces. There's plenty out there for women,
Yeah,
but we definitely need them for us brothers.
that's
Absolutely.
exactly right. And Coach Tre, we just having a conversation. Brother Jimmy just did it. I did it. Sneak did it. We need you to come into the conversation this evening. You need to
Yeah.
let us know how you're doing. And I like that TikTok, that transparent TikTok that you put out. And I want you to kind of segue into that. And I want you to
Yeah.
answer where you are right now. But I want to know over the last couple of years. I want to know how you're doing tonight, Coach.
Good. I appreciate the question, and my answer would be I'm healing. I
Ah,
would I wouldn't say I'm healed, but I'm healing. The last couple of years have been, a roller coaster. I wouldn't even say the last couple, probably the last 7 years have been truly a roller coaster for me and my family. Starting in
Amen.
2019, when I lost my son at the age of 21.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
sorry.
Wow.
Yeah, thank you.
Wow.
And so that just really put me into somewhat of a tailspin. And at the same time of losing my son, I'm preparing to plant a church here in Sacramento.
Oh,
Mm.
wow.
And so we ended up going through with the plans because everything was already signed and we were already committed to doing that. So we ended up launching the church that same year, that fall of that same year. And of course, 6 months later, 2020, COVID happened,
Right.
the world shut down. And
Hmm.
so this young church, this church that was only 6 months old that we had
Wow.
launched, had all of a sudden had to be shut down, just at the point where we were finally gaining a little momentum and find ourselves growing and making an impact in the community. Now we're shut down, and we were shut down for about 2 years. And when we came back, we lost about 60% of our congregation.
Oh, wow.
Mm.
Okay.
The 60% never came back. And
Wow.
so, because a lot happened during COVID, there was a lot political, there was a lot of, just back and forth, when it comes to faith and do churches have their doors open? Do they not? And so it was a lot of arguments, and people saw that, and
Yeah.
people, because people saw that, that infighting amongst the church, it caused people to say, "Well, I don't want no part of that."
Right.
Yeah.
So
And
it was
legitimate fears. Legitimate
and a
fears. Health.
legitimate fears,
Yeah.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so we tried to keep things going, but we end up having to close the doors. And so for something that I had poured my heart in for so long, to finally have to close that chapter, it really affected my mental health, y'all. And I really found myself, doubting who I was
Right.
in God, doubting who I was as a man and as a leader, even doubting who I was as a father.
Right.
But
And
what
so,
caused that doubt? I mean, we're gonna dig. We're gonna dig now.
yeah,
It's a safe
let's
That's
space.
dig.
good.
What
Yeah.
That's good.
what caused that doubt?
Well, I think what caused that doubt is because as people exited, when we decided we announced that we were closing the doors, as people exited, people end up showing their true colors.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
And I
Okay.
realized that people were talking negatively about me and my family.
Okay.
My best friend since high school was a part of the church, and
Hmm.
on his way out, y'all, he cussed me out like I was just a bum on the street.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, based
Wow.
on what someone else had told him.
Oh
none
wow,
of
that's
none
terrible.
of what was true, but he basically came up to this conclusion based on someone who was also at the church, but was sleeping in the congregation every Sunday. And I was like, "That's who you choose to listen to?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. That's always the one they listen to.
right,
Hey, the
That's
squeaky
it.
wheel make a lot of noise, don't it?
yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
But back
that's
to your mental. How did it turn into you thinking it was you? I'm a strong-headed guy.
Yeah.
That's a great
Okay.
question. That's a great
And
question.
folks are like, I don't like this because you. That's what you think. I
Yeah.
ain't worried about what you. That's me.
Yeah,
My question is,
yeah,
How did you let it get to you?
I think for me, because I had poured in so much time, energy, and
yeah,
effort.
yeah,
Honestly, I was
yeah.
starting to make it more about me than God.
Amen.
Okay.
That's a
and and
Okay.
good
I
point.
and I was
Good
at a
point,
point where I was
Coach.
like, I put this together. I did this. I sacrificed. I
Good point,
sacrificed
Pastor. Good
time and
point.
money and all these things, and to see it fail, I was like, maybe it's me. I
I'm hearing
never.
pride. I'm hearing
Yeah,
pride, my
Yeah,
friend.
we
it
get
was
caught up,
truly
don't we?
pride.
We get
We
caught
get
I'm
up.
caught
hearing
We
up.
get
pride.
caught up.
Yeah.
We get caught. That
Yeah.
a
Absolutely.
good Jimmy. If you don't mind, and Coach, we if y'all got time, we just want y'all to stay here with us this
Hmm.
evening,
Oh,
and
absolutely.
this is a great segue for Jimmy because Jimmy is doing something in the Atlanta area. He's partnered with some men, and Coach, you may want to take a nugget and take a page
Yeah.
from his playbook.
I
Jimmy,
moved to
what do you
California from
guys
Georgia.
do? What do
Nice.
you guys do on a weekly basis? What do you do? It's called the Black Men's Lab.
The Black Man's Lab in
Black Man's Lab.
Atlanta.
Okay, talk to us about that this evening.
The Black Man's Lab is a secret, sacred, a safe, and a healing space for men to come together. And honestly, it's a very slick way that they do what what we do. We may have a subject. It may be draped in
Okay,
political banter or whatever for the night,
okay,
and we have different hosts that we have that talk about the subject, and then we open the floor. We may have multiple subjects, and
okay,
we'll
Mm.
open the floor for men to discuss those subjects. I've learned that in doing so, most time, most times, men will veer off into a personal aspect of things,
Hmm. Hmm.
which manifests the true meaning and reason why we have these things. Because I
that's good.
realize no one knows what men think and feel. No
Yeah.
one really knows that. Like me and
That's
Dr.
good.
Sims was talking about yesterday, there are
Amen.
all these social depictions of men in the Christian world, and
Yeah,
the
yeah,
let me make it specific, in the church world,
yeah,
Indeed.
yeah,
because that's two different things. And in the just masculine world,
yeah.
masculine. I'm doing
Yeah,
double
you
quotes here.
supposed to be the
Uh,
man. You the man.
Yeah.
right,
Okay,
right.
okay.
You're not supposed to feel anything. Why are you crying? My
Yeah.
feelings are hurt.
Yeah,
Yeah, my my
yeah,
my feelings are hurt.
yeah.
And watch this, Sneak. They may not be justifiably hurt, but I watch
Mm.
Wow,
this. Watch this, Doc.
wow,
Watch this, coach. But I still feel something.
That's right.
wow. That's
Yeah.
good. That's good.
Yeah.
I still feel something. And so what I've learned
That's
in
good.
the Black Man's Lab is just providing space for men to talk about anything
Hmm.
is
Yeah,
powerful.
that's good.
That's why
Anything.
we're here.
That's why
That's
we're
It's
why
a
here.
we're here.
it's a
Guys,
beautiful
this,
thing.
what Minister Wofford just said, what he just said, that's why we're here. Good evening, Twan. Hey, everybody, listen, just a quick commercial. We got the Coach Tre here. We got the legendary Minister Jemmie Watford here. And we
Oh no no
got
no.
the man himself, the Army Ranger, the twisted steel and sex appeal, Sneaky.
Man, we just cracking day day.
This is
I
what
just
we are doing every Wednesday, every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Put this on your calendar and invite three of your closest male
Oh,
friends.
invite your friends, please invite your
Invite them
friends.
Yeah.
because what
Yeah.
Jimmy just said, yeah, we men and we hurt, we cry. We're not robots. You the
Yeah.
man, we're not robots. We have
Hmm.
feelings. My feelings are, and I know what coach was going through. We don't like to lose. When I got fired, brother Jimmy, from the nuclear plant, April 17, 2015, when I was driving away from that nuclear plant, I got fired after 30 years. They didn't even let me get my Rolex.
Mm.
I got
Well, I'll tell you
fired.
this.
I got fired, and I knew for 30 years I knew I had not been. the best employee. But for the last 2, 3, 4 years, when I got a new position, I was working hard every day and got accommodations and everything. And they told me, you are fired. As a man, that hurt me a little bit because we
Yeah.
don't like to lose at anything.
Yeah.
We don't like to
Absolutely.
lose. We don't like to lose. And I lost. I've been divorced. I've been married again. I got a beautiful wife. I got divorced, and that kind of dinged me a little bit. That's the death of a relationship. And so, men, we hurt. And it's good to have somewhere that we can sit and say, fellas, okay, I'm going through a little something, something. It's no judgment
Yeah.
here either. I don't care what you're going through. It's no judgment. So, Brother Jemmie, throw out one of those topics y'all have on your Tuesday nights. Throw out a topic that you've had recently, and let's chop on it a little bit.
Oh man. So basically, I mean, it's a very, very broad range of discussions. We talk about physical health. We talk about mental health. We talk about protecting your family. We talk about that. And these things, like I said, they stem and they spiral because every individual man, although in the overall complex simplicity of us, every
Yeah, yeah,
man has
yeah.
his own individual forecast of what protecting their family looks like. Me, a lot like Brother Sneaky there, I've trained martial arts for 30 years.
Really?
Yes, sir.
I
I
did not
have.
know that.
Yes, sir. Well, it's good. See, that's my sneaky part right there. Most people,
I did not know that.
30 years. And in fact, in Stonecrest Mall, I now have a dojo in Stonecrest Mall called All in One Fitness. And
Wow.
we do Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, Muay Thai, grappling, kickboxing, boxing. But to
Mm.
that point, I watched a video on, and we brought this up as a topic to your question.
Okay.
We brought this up as a topic. Do men feel comfortable and that it is necessary to physically protect your family? Brother
Okay.
Sneaky, that thing took off.
Did it take
Wow.
off? Did it
that
take off?
that subject right there is something that I think is not only a touchy subject
Yeah.
for men,
Yeah.
it's definitely a touchy subject for men, especially black men and their family,
Right.
and
Hmm.
then the black community as a whole. It's a very touchy subject for us. Me, it's my wife knew, my daughter, my children know exactly what to do if something happens.
Okay.
Mm.
I've
Yeah.
taught, bro Sneak, I've taught them what to
See,
do if this happens, that happens. In the house, they don't have to worry about nothing. So they'll probably hear some stuff,
Right.
right.
but they'll never know. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Bro Sneak know what I'm talking about.
Well, see, now I'm gonna jump on that. Try to caveat a little bit.
Come on,
Yes,
come
sir.
on. Then, Coach Tre, I want to hear your response. Do
Yeah.
you feel?
All
I
right.
know. See, you're a lover, not a fighter, Coach. But I want to hear you chime in. Come on, sneaking in. Coach
I'll
Tre
say,
gonna
see,
chime in.
see now protection varies
Okay.
according to levels. All right.
Right.
Protection could be making sure you're providing they have everything they want,
Right.
everything they need. That's one of my levels of protection. Now, I'm not a martial artist. I know hand to hand military trained type stuff, but I'm a professional shooter.
Okay.
So now when I
Okay.
start talking protection, it's a little bit different than a person that a pugilist, someone that uses their hands, martial arts, blah blah blah.
Right.
My thing is, where's my backstop? What tool am I using? I'm gonna say tool. What tool am I using?
That's
How
good.
powerful is that
That's
tool?
good.
And how can I negotiate what I'm after without causing harm to anything else? So, but that's a whole different mindset because I'm talking military and firepower versus physical and strength.
Wow.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes a
Okay.
lot of sense. That makes a lot
So
of sense.
levels of protection, all right, you have mental protection, you have financial protection, you have physical protection, and then you have tools. All right. So I'm gonna let Coach chime in on that.
Come on, Coach. What do you say, Coach, out there in California? How would you, if something happened to your family, what are you doing to protect your family?
All of the above. To be real, I mean, I just just really just following up on what everyone else is saying. I'm pretty much doing the same things, but what I've realized as I'm preparing my family, my wife, my children, everyone, um, my presence is protection.
Yes.
That's good.
And
That's
because
good.
what I've been doing over the past several years with my family, I let them see me.
That's
I
good.
let them
That's good.
see behind the curtain. So if I'm sitting at the kitchen table paying bills, I let my daughter see that,
Mm.
so that she sees that level of responsibility. When I'm
That's good.
serving in the community, I
That's
make
good.
sure that my family sees that, so that they know it's bigger than just me. It's bigger than just us. It's something that we are inclined to do, to give back, to serve others. And the way I talk to other people, I let my sons, especially my sons, I
Yeah.
let them see how I interact with other men, other people from different backgrounds and cultures. I let
That's
them
good.
see that, because
Mm.
what I realized by letting them by me pulling back the curtain and let them see me and being present, now when they have those situations come into their life, when they have those life circumstances that we all face,
That's a good
they
word.
know how to
That's a good
address
word.
it in a healthy way. Because what I
Yes.
realized growing up, I didn't see a lot of healthy responses to trials and tribulation. It was a lot of, get your hustle on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I
Hmm.
was told
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
and so I didn't understand what that meant. But growing up, once I understand what hustling meant, I don't want no part of that. And there's no protection in that. And
Mm.
so I just started making sure that my family, I was present for them, and letting them behind the curtain, so that what they saw in me could later provide protection. Now, of course,
That's
I got
good.
my finances in order. I got, all the documents, in the safe, and they know where to find things and things like that. But when it comes to the things that they're going to face on a daily basis, my
That's good.
actions will speak louder than any words or documents that
Yeah,
I could
I
prepare.
shared that with a brother. I shared those very words with a brother, that the biggest thing he could do for his family is to be an example. But
Yes.
he would
Yes.
go Hulk
Yes.
mode way too many times. And that's, I want to ask y'all this, since we talking about how do you protect your family, and,
Hmm.
and I think this would be good for our audience. And Jim, I want you to answer last, because you're probably a master of this, Mister. I've been teaching karate 30 years, Mister Martial Art. How how do y'all handle when you get mad? And I know we have a gear. And speaking of protecting your family, I'm very protective over my wife and my niece. I'm very protective, because everybody say, "Well, Dr. Sim, you so laid back and easygoing," but if you step to them the wrong way, I got a whole nother gear. But how do you gentlemen? How do you handle when you get mad? And you may want to tip
That's
into what
that's
makes you
simple.
mad, but how do you control yourself?
That's simple for me because I don't. I've learned over the years that a person that's mad can't think.
Okay, okay,
Okay.
okay.
Dogs get mad. Now, I get irritated, I get angry, but then I start calculating. All right,
Okay.
back to protecting. I got all daughters. I do not have any sons. I
Oh
got one
wow.
grandson, short round.
Right.
So let's talk about presence. I wasn't here for the presence all the time. I was a military man. I was in this country, that country, blah, blah, blah. My wife held our family together, okay, because I was gone a lot. Now, to make up for that, when these little drive-by shooters show up for my girls, and when I was in country, but
Y'all
now
heard
that
it,
I'm home
right? Y'all heard it,
permanently,
right?
when these little knuckleheads show up, I make sure my daughters see how I greet them. Okay, because I know what their intentions are because I was one of them back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
how you doing, young man? I'm gonna shake his hand. I'm gonna look him in the face.
yeah,
All right. I don't grill him, but I ask him.
yeah.
Okay. A lot of people follow me on different social media. Oh, we know you. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, you don't. Come on in here, young man. Have a seat. You know. And then I'm deceptive. Hey, you want a drink? I hope he says yes. No, sir. I'm good.
I'm good.
Nice. Well done. Hey, how you doing, sir? You led with sir. Well done. Because everything's a test. And my daughters already know. My daughters would be like, listen, you coming over to the house, you better be ready because daddy ain't playing with you.
That's good.
Okay. I have, get out of my house, young man. just because they didn't pass the test.
That's good.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
presence now doesn't make up for the lack of presence then, but it shows my daughters that I care enough to make sure that I'm trying to vet. That's the best word I can say.
That's a good
I
word.
vet the young men that are going to interact with my daughters. And I
Amen.
let them know, hey, come on in the house. This is a vet. This is a test. And it's a test every time. They will not just one time and you're good to go. Next time you got another test. Next time you have another test. I
Yeah.
got a
Yeah.
son-in-law.
Yeah.
I love him to death, but I used to put him through the ringer. But hey, he's treating my daughter okay. That's all protection.
That's
Mm-hmm.
good.
It's all protection. Now, different people approach things different ways. I'm
Yeah.
a father of 4 daughters.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I
Yeah.
had sons, I would probably be different.
A little different. Okay, gentlemen, y'all
Yes,
chime in. That's a good answer. Good response. Twan, classic man Twan, is listening to y'all's responses because I'm feeling that he has an issue with this and he may ask a question. He's looking for consistency. So, Coach Tre, Jimmy, how do y'all handle and control yourselves?
Yeah. For me, I gotta really agree with what Sneaky said, because I don't get angry, because if I do get angry, it's a problem,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's a
That's where
problem
I am.
for
That's me.
everybody gonna get it. So what I realized is something what my pastor told me years ago. He said, um, your words create the world around you. And so by how you respond, what you say can create either a healthy world or an unhealthy world. And so
absolutely.
I started giving myself just a moment before I react or respond. Whether I'm angry, pissed off, or whatever, I will give myself a moment. Like my sons, they know this very well, because my sons, woo, they tried me. My daughter, she was good, but my sons, they used to get into a little bit of everything. And they would, whether they got into something or they would ask me a question, I would pause 10 seconds. And they
Okay.
knew this. After a while, they knew Dad's calculating his words. Because if he just flew off the handle, it's going to be ugly. And so I started giving myself those moments. And whether it's work related, or something, relationship wise, I still give myself those moments. And sometimes it's longer than 10 seconds. Sometimes it's about handling anger by doing something that I love. I'll go
Amen.
to the golf. I'll go to the driving range, play me
Okay.
around the golf, take me a drive. Do something that I love, something just for me. And,
Hmm.
and we could talk about that too, because a lot of times
That's
we
good.
sacrifice so much that we don't do anything just for us. It's okay to be a little selfish.
That's
And so when
good.
I get
That's
a little
good,
selfish
Coach.
with myself,
That's good,
I
Coach.
realize my anger level decreases.
That's
And now
Nice.
good.
I can address that issue in a more humane way, in a
Yeah.
more respectful, in a
Yeah.
more godly way.
That's good.
Yeah.
When they asked Jesus, that woman was caught in adultery. We should stone her, right? What did Jesus do? He
Mm-hmm.
paused for a moment, didn't he?
Yep.
And he wrote it in the sand. Brother Jimmy, how do you control yourself? How do you teach your students to listen, guys? I'm not teaching you this to go out and whoop folks. I'm teaching you this. This is a discipline. How do you control yourself, Brother Jimmy?
Well, this is going to be interesting.
Come
and
on,
and it's
preacher.
it's going it's going to be interesting because I hold men to a higher standard
Okay.
of intelligence, because I also hold men to a higher standard of their ability to display anger and danger.
Mm.
So, in explaining to men, especially men that I've taught in martial arts, mixed martial arts, specifically for the past nearly 30 years,
Yes, sir.
I go into what is happening in the brain. And I think this is very important for everyone to understand, but us men more importantly. I go into the psychological and chemical applications of what we call anger and explain to you what it actually is. And only an intelligent person, see, this is the challenge, this is the trick. Only an
Okay.
intelligent person can actually understand that and say,
Huh.
I'm really not angry. I'm just feeling. And this is how I
Mm.
explain it.
Okay.
Inside of the brain, there is a limbic region of the brain, and there is a basal area of the brain. The basal area of the brain is in the base near to the top of the spine that creates an what we call a defensive response.
Right.
But it is triggered by the limbic region of the brain, which stores every dangerous, hear this word, every dangerous thing that has ever occurred to you in your life.
Wow. Wow.
So people say, man, I'm afraid of dogs. No, the 3-year-old you is afraid of dogs, and it's a very big dog that woofed at you behind the fence.
Yeah.
The limbic region stores that information. And now every time you see a dog, it's not, listen to this, it's not an intelligent region of the brain.
Wow.
It's not an intelligent region of the brain. It is a storage region of the brain. They say that within the limbic region of the brain, if you were to unpack this region onto CDs, it would fill up the average size room.
Wow.
So the information of danger is there. Now watch this.
Come on.
When the limbic region communicates to the basal area that something dangerous is storage. That's right, classic man. Storage. When the limbic region communicates to the basal area, hey man, there's the dog. Watch this, Doc. You're going to love this, Dr. Sil.
Come on.
The brain secretes a chemical throughout the body called neopeptides.
Come on.
And these neopeptides send your whole body into a fight or flight mode.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Watch this, and this is how I teach this. This is where I teach my men, because I teach them to be physically dangerous. I have no apology for that.
Okay. Okay.
But I teach them that when you feel, don't say this with me, when you feel, when you feel angry, you actually are not, by definition, angry.
Right.
You just feel anger because
That's
those
good.
neopeptides.
That's
watch
good.
this, Sneaky. Let me walk this one down. Once those neopeptides are secreted, I ask men, I say, have you ever been to the dentist? Most men raise their hand. Yeah, I've been to the dentist. I say, okay, did you get the gas or did you get the shot?
Uh-huh.
The people that say they got the shot, you know what the shot does. The shot makes you feel right. You
Come on.
You feel like a whip.
Yeah.
It's this big. You feel like you could just, that's how you feel.
Come on. Come on.
But when you look in the mirror, your lip is actually not swollen.
It's not swollen. It just feels like it.
But you keep checking.
You keep checking. The doctor tells you. The doctor tells you, hey, you may not want to eat anything. You'll bite your lip off. You'll injure yourself, right? Watch this. Because the chemicals in the shot make you feel like you have a swollen lip.
Yeah.
Just like the chemicals in the neopeptides that are secreted from the brain go through. That's why it's so difficult. Listen to me, brothers. Come on. It is so difficult to calm somebody down that is fighting.
Yeah.
They are angry or they feel angry until what? Those chemicals start to suppress themselves inside of their body.
Come on, Elder. And to your point, and Sneaky got his finger up, and to your point, we just saw on either TikTok or Instagram, a man just lost his life because he was trying to protect a woman that was in the midst of a domestic violence attack.
I saw that.
To your point.
Yes,
Come on, Sneaky.
I want to chime in on that as well. We use the AGES program as far as de-escalation at work. Okay. And when they talk about the limbic, we'll stick with that. When you start talking about the limbic system, you're talking primal, fight or flight.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, when you're talking cerebral cortex, that's your thinking brain. So the way we break it down is if someone's angry, if you're trying to de-escalate, the cerebral cortex is the jockey. The limbic system is the horse.
That's right.
Okay. As long as the jockey's in control, you can de-escalate. You can talk to that person.
Yeah.
But if you're riding a horse and it gets spooked, All right, jockey's in charge, right? But if that horse gets spooked because of a snake or whatever, and that horse takes off,
You gotta
that
ride it
jockey ain't
out.
controlling nothing
That's right.
until you get that horse under control. So if you're in a conflict and you're trying to de-escalate, you never try to talk to the horse.
Why?
You need to talk to the jockey.
That's
And
right.
if the horse is in control because of emotions, fear,
That's right.
anger, whatever,
That's
you are
right.
not going to be able to
That's
de-escalate that
good.
situation until
That's
that jockey
good.
takes over. So when you
That's
ask
good.
questions, you don't ask yes or no questions because you can answer that real quick without thinking.
That's
All
right.
right.
Wow.
Why did that happen? Can you explain to me why you feel that way? You're making them think.
That's
That
That's
right.
puts
so
that
good.
cerebral cortex back in charge. That
That's
jockey's
right.
back in charge. You slow down that horse, and
That's
then
right.
you can try to de-escalate the
That's
situation.
good. That's
Limbic
so good.
system is primal. Cerebral cortex is your thinking brain.
The
So I agree
jockey.
with you completely.
I like
Here,
that.
Sneaky, to your point, I teach that the cerebral cortex is the last member to show up to the party once those neopeptides. It is. It
The
Absolutely.
is.
last one.
That,
The last
Absolutely.
that's
one. The
it,
last.
Right.
and it's the only intelligent region. That's the
Exactly.
intelligent part.
That
Yeah.
is
But
so
it's
good.
usually the last one to get. That's why it's again. It is so. And I'm gonna say this. Let me just share this with our
Come on. Come
men
on. Come on.
that may be in here. Men, don't feel. Oh, that word is just rolling.
That's
Don't
good.
feel so badly because sometimes you get to a point that you feel angry.
Yeah.
Learn that it's
Mhm.
not a true. It's a natural. Like Sneaky said, it's primal.
That's
Yes.
good.
Everyone is capable
Yeah.
of. I teach children when I was in
Yeah.
school. Every human being is capable of exemplifying anger,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
only people that exemplify a certain degree and
Yeah.
decorum of intellect can control and bring that anger
Damn.
down.
That's
Yes.
so good. That's so
And
you
you know
got.
what helps me? What
Go
helps
ahead.
me with that is when I get emotionally bound, because I'm not immune to that. I tell myself, I'm not thinking. I'm not thinking. Phil, you're not. You Phil, you're not thinking.
That's
Stop.
And
good.
that allows me
That's
to roll
good.
that back, and then I get back to the calculating this, that, and the other.
That's so
Yes,
If
sir.
good.
I'm not thinking,
Hey,
I'm feeling, and I'm not able to push through the dilemma that I'm trying
I'm
to
so
push.
glad. I'm so glad we went there, guys. We just blessed Twan tonight. Y'all just don't know, and he's just giving y'all all kind of accolades. We blessed Twan tonight. We blessed Twan tonight, Coach. We're gonna circle back and let you. You're gonna have a couple minutes in Minister Watford, and then we're gonna wrap up in a few minutes. But to circle back, Coach, and you use the present tense of the word. You're healing. Where are you today? Kind of let us know where you are today. Kind of talk to us about ministry and your pastorate and
Yeah.
your coaching, and why did you choose that therapist? I have a
Yeah.
colleague, Minister Watford. You may know him. He pastors Destiny Church. Pastor Javon Good. He's got a therapist, and I asked him, why did you pick that therapist? Because Javon is a he's an odd bird, and I love him. He's done some revivals for me for the last couple of years. I love him, and he's a certain guy. And I said, why did you pick that therapist? And he said, Dr. Sims, and y'all are like this. He keeps me honest.
Mm.
I said last week, and me and Sneaky unpacked this last week. Men don't lie, Coach and Minister Wofford, but we won't be honest.
Yeah.
We won't be
Yes.
honest.
Mm-hmm.
We hide behind. We got good mask, and it ain't even Halloween. So,
Hmm.
Coach, why did you pick that therapist? How well do you love therapy, and where are you today?
Good. Well, I'm going to tie in everything that the three of y'all just shared because as my brothers was talking, I'm like, that's me, that's me,
I
because
love this, guys.
my brother Jimmy, you was talking about, you use the analogy of a fear of dogs. I had a fear of dogs, and
Wow.
it started when first grade. I was in the first grade. I got
Wow.
chased home by a dog. So I went from first grade having this what I thought was a traumatic experience, and I went all the way through into my 40s
Wow.
having this fear of dogs.
Wow.
And so, and then going on to what Sneaky was talking about. So for 30 plus years, I was letting the horse control the race.
Yes.
Wow.
And it wasn't until I was asked the question, why are you afraid of dogs?
Wow.
And what happened? So I had to get to the root of the story, root of the problem. And I said, well, it's because I was chased by a dog at 6 years old.
Wow.
And somebody told me you're 41 years old now.
Wow.
And I thought about it at that moment. I was like, for so long, I have let that false evidence appearing real
Yeah. Yeah.
control me. And I denied my children kept asking me, Dad, can we have a dog? Dad, can we have a dog?
How about
Finally,
that?
we got a dog because now the jockey was in control.
There it is.
I love it. See, that's why we here. That's why
Yeah.
we here, Coach.
That's why we here, man.
That's so
And
good.
Yeah.
so
That's so good.
I say that story because it was through therapy that I was finally able to allow the jockey
That's
to take
good.
the reins.
Perfect.
And I was searching here and there for a therapist. I had tried multiple therapists, and I really and I hope for those of us listening, those who might see this later, it's okay to fire a therapist and find somebody else,
That's
because
right.
the first therapist you come upon might not be the therapist for you. And so finally, a black woman, I chose her to be my therapist, and pretty much what we were just talking about, she kept me honest.
Yeah.
Nice.
But she kept me honest in a way that almost felt, and she was, she's a bit older than me. She kept me honest in a way that almost felt like my mother would keep me honest.
Understand. Understand.
Like,
That's good. Good.
now, Trey, you know better. And so sometimes us as men, we kind of need that. We don't need
That's
to.
good.
Oh, it's gonna be okay. You just breathe. You just do that. No, I needed a therapist that said, "Now, Trey, you know better,"
Come on. Come on.
See,
and
a
it challenged
therapist,
me.
That's good.
a
Yeah.
therapist can't give therapy if you don't trust them.
That
That's it. And when she did that, I trusted her
There you go.
because she just wasn't giving me a bed of roses.
That's
She
good.
she was saying, "Hey, this ain't gonna be easy. You got some work to do."
yeah.
And once I realized, okay, she, as much as I coach other people, she's gonna
That-
be coaching me, because as a former athlete,
That's good.
that's what I want.
Come
I,
on,
Yeah.
Coach.
I
Come
want a
on,
challenge.
Coach.
I
That's
want a
good.
challenge, and most men, if you present a challenge to us, it's
Yeah,
on.
that's what
Oh,
I'm talking
you're
about.
challenging me. Okay, you want me to go to therapy? You dare me to go to therapy? Okay, I'm going, because now you done challenge me. So she had challenged me in such a way that made me be better. And I wanted to come back the next week and report, hey, what you said I need to do better on, here's the proof. Here's the receipts. And
Nice.
so I've
That's
kept
good.
her
That's
as my
good.
therapist now for about 5 years, and the relationship I have with her has been amazing. And one last thing, I think it's so great that we're talking about this now during this month, which is Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yes, it
We
is.
need it, and as we cross over into June, which is Men's Health Awareness Month, the two go hand in hand. And so I am a living witness that therapy is healing. Therapy is what a lot of us need. Go talk to somebody, brothers. Go
Talk to
talk to
somebody.
somebody.
Coach,
This is why I'm here.
Coach,
Y'all are.
this
This
is
is my
why
therapy.
I cannot
Yeah.
say it. And Minister Watford, I'm gonna drop you and I'm gonna let him give his final words. But if you can be with us every week, be with us every week. If you can be with us once every other month, just whenever you can stop by, we'll leave the light on for you, okay?
All
Because we
right.
like it, man. Even though you from California, we Southerners. Even though you from California, we like you,
Hey,
man. We
well,
like you.
I lived in Georgia for 20 years.
Did
And
you?
matter of fact, I still got a house in Conyers. So next time I'm in Conyers,
Okay.
Jimmy, I'm stopping by Stonecrest to see you,
Bet.
brother.
Bet. We
Come
love you,
on.
man.
Nice.
Message me your contact information. I want to talk to you offline, okay?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, love you, man.
Love you too.
Welcome, my friend.
Come, Minister Watford. Uh, thank you so much for being here, man. He is this what you wanted it to be? Is this what you thought it would be? Are we on to something, Minister Watford?
Man, you're more than on to something, because I know that the world has no idea what black men think and feel. I know that. That and to provide a place where men can share and be vulnerable and get advice from other men that
Yeah.
are standing with them, not in judgment, but in just of, hey, come on, brother, we can do better. Like the brother just said, man, it's a very needed place. I wrote a sermon once called "It's Time to Let Go."
Amen.
And in this sermon, I speak of Jesus growing across to the island and the man that was chained in the graveyards. And we never really know. The story doesn't specify who ran to Jesus. Was it the demons inside of him or the
Come
man?
on. Come on.
But either way, both knew something was getting ready to be dealt with. So
That's good.
we know the physicality of the man had to transport either the man and the demon to Jesus. But the point of my sermon was, you have to reach a point that you get fed up with so many things that have
That's
compounded
good.
and
That's
built you and torn you down, that you finally know it's time to let it go. So we don't know if the demons or the man ran to Christ. We just know that both of them had reached a point that it's time to do something about this thing.
That's
And
good.
that
That's
is
good.
that is what I feel like where we are in society. So as many men that can raise up to bring other men on this panel. And I'm gonna be bringing some men. I have some brothers that I'm gonna bring on here that, like you said, are very interesting
Nice.
men. Some actors, some big music moguls,
Wow.
friends of mine that I've known for years.
Wow.
That normally when I'm on things, they'll pop on and come in, and people be like, "Who was that?" And when I start telling them who they were, they be like, "For real?" I'm like, "Yeah, they are regular
They're
men,
regular guys. I love
Yeah.
it.
regular
Thank you.
men."
Thank you, bro, Jemmie.
So I love it, man. And bro, Sneaky, I own an executive protection company here in Atlanta. So
Wow.
Nice.
I personally am expert in the hand to hand, but we also, let some bottle rockets fly every now and then.
Pew pew pew.
if,
3, 2, 1.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, man, God bless y'all. I appreciate you having me on. And anytime, I'll be a silent guest. I ain't gotta have the panel. I talk too much, too often. Anyway, so I'll just be
appreciate
silent
that,
in the
man.
background, heating you up in the chat, talking. So I love y'all, brother.
I just love that you have expressed that this is worthwhile.
Yeah.
Oh man, extremely.
Absolutely.
And in fact, I'd like to see how, I was talking to Dr. Sims, how we can, and again, we're usually very private about the Black Man's Lab, but maybe one day, if you guys are in Atlanta, the Lithonia area,
Yeah.
or Camilton, not Camilton Road, at the YMCA, Camilton Road,
Right.
when we do it every Monday night.
Every Monday.
Every Monday and every Tuesday night.
Okay.
Every Monday and every Tuesday night. There's no faltering. There's
That's
no
good.
doubt. It's gonna happen. We're gonna feed the brothers a good meal, not no potato chips and cookies. I'm talking about we have a chef come in
That's
and
nice.
feed these brothers, man, and treat them like men. And they eat as much as they want, and bring your son. However, maybe we can figure out how one day we can just do the podcast live from there, and y'all can interview some of the men that have been a part of it and ask them, how has the Black Man Lab enhanced their lives? Or
That's good.
Why are they faithfully there every Monday and Tuesday? We do it 2 nights a week, Monday night, Tuesday night, 2 different locations. So, man,
I'm game.
Yeah, we're gonna talk it up. We're gonna talk it up because Sneaky, I'm gonna be in the Atlanta area June 1, June 2, June 3, and I'm gonna interact with them, and we're gonna be broadcasting live that Tuesday night. But we'll talk about it. We'll talk about
absolutely.
it and we'll go from there. But Minister Watford, you're always welcome, and thank you for spending some minutes with us, okay?
Respect, brothers. Love y'all.
Love you back, man.
Peace.
That's good stuff, man. Sneaky, what you thinking, Sneak? What you thinking, Sneak?
I'm thinking that we got the pick, and we started on the side of the mountain, and today I think we're digging up gold and diamonds. We just started digging, and I think we're pulling up some treasures right now.
What you thinking, man?
Absolutely.
I'm excited, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, it appears that I'm the least religious person in the group, but I'm not the least vocal.
That's right.
We all think in different ways, and we all express ourselves differently.
That's right.
And we all need to hear different opinions.
That's right.
Constantly. No man's an island.
No
And
man
that's
stands
part of the
alone.
problem
Yeah.
that a lot of us feel that we have to. And I was one that did that for years. Um, and I think that this is a necessary space.
I do
I
too.
think it's a necessary space. Absolutely.
Man, I'm excited, man. But listen, excuse my manners, how short round?
Man, Short Round is the man of the man. That's what he is. Yeah, Short Round. He's running around and he's learning now. Making sure we get the smart books. We try to. He gets in the tablet and he gets on the kitty shows on the phone every now and again.
Right.
But I want to make sure both me, his mother, which is my daughter, and my wife, educational books, man. He can count. He can count. He can tell you what color is this, what color is
That's
that.
awesome.
We're getting him prepared for school so he won't struggle.
Right.
Okay. Now the other side of that coin is I don't want him to fall into where I fell into.
Okay.
Okay. After being in military schools, and then my father retired, we ended up on the south side of Chicago.
Right. Okay.
I'm not gonna call the school, but once I got to the school, I was like, these kids can't read.
Wow.
And when I showed up, the teachers would let the people read, everybody read a sentence.
Right.
So I'm brand day one, Doc. Day one. I'm sitting in class and she's going down the line, kids reading a sentence, and then she's like, Philip, would you like to read? I was like, yeah, I'll read. And I didn't think about it. And I just banged out a paragraph, blah, 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 blah. Started getting bullied.
Right.
Who's this new kid? Oh, he thinks it. I started getting bullied for being smart, and that
Wow.
caused me to start pulling back. I had to act like I wasn't smart. I was still acing my classes, don't get me wrong,
Right.
but I didn't read as well in front of the class because
Wow.
I didn't want to be.
Wow.
Isn't that terrible?
That's something
You
else,
have
ain't
to
it?
restrain yourself in, third, fourth grade because you don't want to be alienated because you're smart. Isn't that terrible?
Wow. Isn't that something? And boy,
And yeah,
we'll put a
I
pin
went
in
through
that.
that.
That's a topic we need to cover that. But you're so right. And that gets ingrained in us. And we do
Yeah.
that all of our lives, kind of throttle back a little bit and not really shine. Just,
Look,
kind of,
we black folks in
blend in,
America.
you know.
We black folks in America. We've been throttling back forever.
Yeah, you already know, man.
We've
You
been
already
throttling
know.
back forever.
Man,
I know you.
hey,
This last thing I'm gonna say. I know you've heard this phrase. You gotta
yeah,
be twice as good to be equal.
yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
twice as good to be equal. That's a lot of people's lives right now.
That's exactly right, man. You got to
Yeah,
do twice as much to be half as good. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And it's
yeah.
crazy, man. Well, listen, tell the family fan we say, hey, man, we'll see you next Tuesday. Man. Hey, listen,
Absolutely,
hey, as we say here in the South, man, it's getting gooder and gooder.
good and good.
How does the sound? How we sounding? How's the sound?
Audio sounds good. We did have I was getting sound in one ear from one of our guests.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Uh,
Coach Tre. Coach Tre.
right. So we'll just what I want us to do is you're on the computer. I'm on my phone.
Okay,
I want to see how our audio would be if we were both on the computer, see if
okay,
I can chime in, if I can
okay,
get into the
okay,
show from the computer as well. That will change everything.
okay, okay,
So we'll work on that.
okay.
We'll
That
work on that.
sounds good. Well, listen, you have a
All right.
good night and hug short round for us.
Will do. Love you, Doc.
Love you back. Oh man. Oh man. I guys, oh my goodness. Was that not good tonight? I'm happy. Thank y'all for the gifts. Good to see everybody. If I did not speak to you, we were just in interview mode and talking. And thank y'all for being here. Meredith, is good to see you. Rev, is good to see you. Twan, is good to see you. First Lady Sims, good to see you. Everybody that hopped in, hopped out. Appreciate our guests, Coach Tre, Minister Watford, my co-host Sneak. Thank y'all. And I'm telling you, it's getting good. Listen, BlueTabletTalkForMen.com. That's our YouTube channel. And if you miss us live, you can always watch the replays on our YouTube channel. This was good. This was real good. And guys, listen, bring somebody next week. Bring 3 of your friends. Bring 3 men with you next week. This is for the men. This is for the men right here. Men, how are you? If you want to support the show, Cash App, $ Blue Table Talk. If you want to send us a question, a comment, Blue Table Talk for Men at gmail.com. We would love to field your question. And as I always say, if you stay high on life, life's going to stay high on you. And listen, man, it's all right to be a man. It's all right. It's all right to be a man. There's no shame. It's all right to be a man. All right. Until next Tuesday, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember, if you stay high on life, life's going to stay high on you.